CERT, your Community Emergency Response Team. The CERT program educates people about disaster preparedness and trains them in basic emergency response skills, such as home and fire suppression safety, light search and rescue, life-saving emergency medical operations, and team organization skills. Training to accomplish the greatest good for the greatest number. When a major disaster happens, it will overwhelm local emergency response capability. CERT members can apply essential first response training learned in the classroom and from real-life exercises to give critical support to family, neighbors, and our community until help arrives.
I signed up because I know that eventually there will be a disaster in our area. It's inevitable, and we might as well be prepared.
This is a great opportunity, and I can't say enough good things about the training that I received. And the people that were training us, they're excellent, they know their job, and we learned a lot of good things from them.
Turning on your gas, turning off your gas, turn off the electricity, or stop your water supply in case of an emergency. All those little things that you might not think would be that difficult, you have a chance to do them firsthand and leave knowing and feeling more confident that you'll be able to handle that even just for your own household.
It's going to help. The CERT program is a very good idea, and I believe more people are going to get involved. I think we've just seen the first swell of many.
Oh, I highly recommend that anyone who possibly can to take the training. If several people in every neighborhood has had the training when a disaster comes, those few people can pull other people together and help them help each other in their neighborhoods. I think it would be good for church groups, for clubs, for other organizations to work together at recruiting other people to come in to get the training for CERT.
My name is Denise Bell, and I am a retired school teacher. I taught for 33 years. I taught K through 12. I taught special needs kids. So I have all the patience in the world. So let's see. When I retired from that, like I said, I run 2 search and rescue dogs on the Daviess County Search and Rescue team. And so working in emergency management just kind of slid right into that, because I've been working with them for, it was 9 years this last month that I've been running dogs. So is there anybody in here who is afraid of dogs? Because we will bring our dogs in. Some of us will bring our dogs in when we do the search and rescue unit. We'll also have the animals and disaster. I added that this year because I feel like Daviess County Search and Rescue is called down to work the tornadoes in Dawson Springs in 21, and I was amazed and saddened by the number of animals I saw just roaming around. Now that would make sense, but there were a couple of girls that had come down from Evansville, and they were just putting all the animals in their car to keep track of them. Well, that's a great idea, until you get a dog that doesn't like cats. And then you gotta fight. So I think that if we're all a little more understanding of maybe how to handle such situations, I think it would be a good thing. So that's why I included animals in this one. Let's see, what else? Really, that's all about me. I'm nothing special, I'm just like everybody else. Okay. Let's talk about what CERT, well, let me give you a little information first about this. So, and I had to chuckle when I read this. It says, in 95% of all emergencies, bystanders are the first to provide emergency assistance. I had to chuckle because Monday, emergency management has now moved from downtown. We are now out at Western Kentucky. the campus out there. I was on my way back, and there, I'm not sure what that, 31 whatever, the OCC's on, and then Old Hartford Road. Anyway, getting ready to turn, and this huge accident happened. I must have just missed it. But when I pulled up, I mean, I was getting ready to turn left, and there were the two bashed cars, and all these cars sitting around, nobody had gotten out. And I mean, I always feel like I'm not a nurse, but I can do something. Something's better than nothing. So, of course, and being a teacher, I can be kind of bossy. So I ran to the first car, and this person started coming up, and I said, "What's your name?" "My name's Denise." You know, what hurts? So then I'm like, you stay with this guy. Go over to the next car, and that woman, I opened up the driver door, and there wasn't anybody there. She had climbed over to the other side. All her airbags were off. So I said, "My name's Denise, what's your name?" Blah, blah, blah. They ran through the whole spiel real quick, and I'm like, "You, stay with her." I'm like, you're gonna direct traffic. You know, I was just bossing. But that's okay, because you know what? Somebody did something. It's better than nothing, because it took a while for anybody to get there. So you be that person. You don't have to be a nurse. You don't have to be a fireman. You don't have to be any of that stuff. Everybody can do something. Sir, just find a seat wherever you want. Did you sign in and grab a notebook over there? Okay. So anyway, that's fine. Yep, if they'll just sign in and grab a notebook, that would be great. So statistics: 1 firefighter for every 280 people. That's not a lot of firefighters. So that's where we can come in and help. 1 sworn officer for every 385. Now, I'm not telling you you're going to go out and chase criminals, or that you should try and hold somebody down, especially if they're armed. You know, that you are not prepared for that. And no, I wouldn't expect anybody to do that. 1 EMT paramedic for every 325 people. You can help there a lot. You don't have to be an EMT or a paramedic. The guy I told at the woman in the white car, I said, "You, get in the back seat and just hold her head," because she said her neck hurt. So I said, "Just hold her head." And I told her, I said, "Just sit there, let this person put their hands on your head, and they're just gonna help you to make sure it doesn't move." Who knows what happened? Maybe nothing. Maybe nothing was wrong with her neck. But why take a chance? If somebody's standing there and they can hold her neck fairly still and talk to her, just talking to somebody, if you've ever been in an accident, just having someone talk to you helps immensely. Okay? All right. Disasters can overwhelm your first responders. I noticed that when we went down to Dawson Springs. Okay, you only have so many first responders, and that's where they're going to rely on people to help, people who know what they're doing, or at least have a general idea, to help. You know, you can help pull somebody out of a house in the event of an emergency, or out of a car, or things like that. You know, if they say nothing hurts, take them out, walk them to the side of the road. You can do that. Like I said, you don't have to be an EMT to do that. So CERT is a network of neighborhood and workplace teams who are trained by emergency service professionals that you can call upon during local disaster situations. So if a tornado comes through here, when a tornado comes through here, it's inevitable. These are the people here who are going to be there to help first. In EMA, we try to teach everybody that nobody's going to come help you for 3 days. You have got to be ready to take care of yourselves and your neighbors for 72 hours. So I encourage everyone to have some kind of a bag with, you know, water and food, and we're going to go over the things you should put in that bag. So I encourage everyone to make sure you have something to help you get through that. All right, the CERT background, it was developed by Los Angeles City Fire Department in 1987. So it's really not that old, or maybe it is old. Maybe I just am older than I feel like I am. So I don't think 87 is that long ago, really. Now, you weren't probably even born in 87. You're like, yeah, that's a long time ago. For the rest of us, yeah, we all have seen 87. Most of us. You will be able to treat people basic first aid. You will be able to put out basic fires. You know, you will be able to do a lot of things. All right, that's enough of my jaw-jacking. So, this book, I will try and keep you, I'm not impressed with the book. I'm waiting for them to write a new one. But it's kind of hard to keep track on the pages. So I will do my best to let you know what page we're on. We are not going in order. This book is yours to keep. So write in it if you want. Some don't have that cover on it because there wasn't a slider thing. I never expected this many people, so I kind of had to dig out whatever folders I could find. So some have colored, some are maybe not the best in the best shape, but sorry, I just wasn't expecting this many, but I'm super happy. So we're going to start with Unit 1. Okay? And trust me, I am not going to read this to you. You are all intelligent people. Okay. Here's what CERT, you will be considered a CERT. Now in Owensboro, Daviess County, in this area, and I'm sure that's including McLean and some of these other surrounding areas, I know Vicki had over 700 people that she had trained in all her years. Now, I've gone through the list because, you know, some have moved and some have passed away, so there aren't that many, but there are still at least 400 people in the area who have been trained at some point. And some people have taken it more than once. Oh, by the way, you two are the only people that signed up initially, so thank you. It's because of you guys that everybody else is here. So thank you. Assist us, emergency services personnel when requested. So I'm hoping that eventually down the line I can get a few people willing to help me and we can work on other areas like getting the police officers to come in and teach a class on how to direct traffic. The girl and I the other day, we were just winging it. You know, she's like, you go, so I'd let my people go and I'd be like, okay, you go, okay, you go. You know what I mean? But it worked. It worked. We didn't have any more accidents. Sorry?
It's better than not having anybody even trying to do it.
That's what we just talked about. You're right, 100%. Assume some of the same functions, and that just means you'll be able to help people. That's what that's about. Prepare families and communities prior to the emergency. Hopefully you'll go home, or when you see other people, you'll talk about the class. Hopefully you'll finish coming the rest of the time, and maybe we can get more people. I will offer again probably in January, because January tends to be a little bit lower on emergency, on disasters. Notice it not. Hope it stays that way. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to click through these, so we're not doing exercises. All right, preparedness. You're going to hear us talk a lot about what have you done to prepare for that disaster. That's when we talked about the emergency kits. When you're finished with the class, everybody will get a backpack or a bag. I have both of them. And it's got all kinds of goodies in it. Now, we might need to go through and get rid of some of the gloves because they're probably latex. So I have some new gloves that are not latex that we can replace those with. But you'll get a wrench, because Atmos and Kinergy are going to come in and teach you how to turn things off and when to do it and when not to do it, and when you never turn anything back on, they do it. But anyway, you'll get a decent wrench. Nothing is like your top shelf though. You know, you got to remember we're buying tons of it. But it'll all work for what we need it for. Yeah. All right, so the government, that would be, I guess, my job, working for the county, I would assume that's government. I do a lot with emergency plans, a whole lot. With the Carmel home, I call on Fridays because we have radio, so I try and make sure I communicate. I think we have 11, radios, so if power goes out and everything goes out, I can still communicate with them, and there's 11 different facilities, the hospital and grad and, all your, numerous of your nursing homes, things like that, assisted livings. Ensure emergency responders have adequate skills. That's what we're doing right now, okay? I'm gonna teach you, and all these other people who are coming in are gonna teach you some skills to help other people. And then provide services to protect. We do a lot of going out and talking to organizations about what you need to have to be prepared. I go to nursing homes and assisted livings and say, if the power goes out, how are you going to get your people off of the 5th floor at the Roosevelt House? How are you going to get them down the stairs? If they're in a wheelchair, how are you going to get them down the stairs? What are your plans? So that we talk about things like that. EOP, Emergency Operations Plan, that's something we have, and it defines what group, what their job is, how they are to do it. Now, I'm not talking like how to turn the hose on and things like that for the firefighters. I'm talking very basic. But the document is like over 1,000 pages long. So it's specific to every first responder, every nursing home. This is what the nursing homes and assisted living should be doing. This is how it should be set up. Let's see. Yeah, all that stuff is in there. What's the chain of command? Like you and your jobs, or if you're retired, you and your past jobs, you had a chain of command. Even the EOP has a chain of command. Emergency management, I'm the bottom. Okay? Community leaders, we try and make sure we get those people participating in either classes like this or coming to our meetings for the in the Emergency Operations Center, which is where all like the firemen and the police and the healthcare and one person from each of those organizations comes during an emergency, and they make the decision for what's going on. Public, that's you. Take a second, if you would, to read those. Volunteers, the most important one, just this past week. Now, CERT does stuff. I will put out at times things for CERT people to come help. I just needed people for ROMP. And when you volunteered for ROMP, you got the whole pass for the whole weekend. So it didn't cost you a penny, except 4 hours of your time. So I will put that out for ROMP again next year. Different things that we would like somebody with a little bit of first aid, a little bit of ability to help if needed. That's what you all will be. Engage the whole community. I feel like that's what we're doing here. We have from all over, there's lots of people in here from lots of different places. Community coalitions, this is a coalition. We work together for one goal. Relationships, we're building relationships with each other. Preparedness, active participation from everybody. So on the final exercise night, I hope everybody jumps in and says, I can do some medical stuff. I can, let me put out this fire. I can do search and rescue. Let me do it. Okay? Everybody's going to do it, but I hope that you're willing and wanting to do it, because that's kind of what we're working toward. Talk to friends and family about volunteering. How many people in here volunteer somewhere? Somewhere, somehow, something. Yep. And if you don't, I would encourage you to do it somewhere. Let's talk about the types of disasters. Natural, that's probably what we're going to get. As you all know, we are right on that fault line, and that earthquake's going to come. Is it going to be in our lifetime? Who knows? We hope not. because it's gonna be ugly when it comes, but you never know. Could be tomorrow. We don't know.
Could be more of those December tornadoes.
Yes, yes, you're right. Well, tornadoes don't usually happen in July either. I mean, that's not really a common time for that. No, no. Technological and accidental. Hazardous material spill. There is a lot of hazardous material in this area. Being the one who works with the state and with all the facilities, we have a lot of hazardous material. A lot of hazardous material floats down that river too. If people knew, they'd probably be pretty nervous. So just be aware. There's a lot of hazardous material. Nuclear power plant, we don't have one of those, so it's not a problem here, but isn't that one right in Indiana over the bridge, over the new bridge? Okay.
That's a coal power plant.
Okay, so we're good there.
It just looks like it.
Okay, it does, it does.
It looks like it has a nuclear coolant tower, but it's not.
I'm from northern Indiana, and nowhere around me did we ever have nuclear power
Nearest one's
plants.
down in Tennessee, maybe.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Terrorism, that seems to be something that I think that we need to all be aware of these days. It seems like more and more terrorists are doing a variety of things. So, again, help your neighbors if you can.
They're coming from a variety of backgrounds. Knowing your neighbors is pretty
Important as well. Yep, I would agree there. Okay, key disasters. Yeah, they're relatively, you don't know what's going to happen. Now, tornadoes, we do get some warning, but, we don't live in the south or along a coast where you get days advance warning like they do for hurricanes and so forth. But tornadoes, you might get a little bit of warning, and you might not. We already talked about emergency personnel, and we all know that lives, health, and the environment are endangered. Lives always come first. Always come first. Local, we know what happens here, right? Tornadoes, floods. Those are pretty much the two things that happen here, for the most part. Look around your neighborhood, wherever you live, and think about what are the hazards in your neighborhood. Maybe you live close to a gas station. That's kind of a hazard, if you think about it. Maybe you live close to a school. That might be a great place to go to if you had to. For, an emergency, whatever. The schools, we try not to use schools because the goal is to get kids back in school, some normalcy back into their lives quickly. So we try not to use them, but in an event of emergency, you're going to go to the most solid structure around, which is probably your school or your church. What to expect from a disruption of services. How many of you could survive without your phone? Look at us, all of us old people raising our hand. Well, let me rephrase that. Look at this old person and the rest of you who maybe are a little older, raise our hands. We're ready for it because we've lived that. Young kids, young men, young people, probably you'd be like, oh my gosh, my phone, I won't survive.
Like a squirrel personally.
Yeah, yep. Okay, infrastructure damage. We will talk a lot about this. In this class, we do not expect anybody to go into a building that is structurally unsound. And we will see pictures, we'll see videos, we'll talk a lot about structurally sound and what you should go into and what you should not go into. It is way above your pay grade, which is 0. So just so you know that. Like the first bullet point talks about the type of structure. If it's, let's say it's a middle of the summer, 2 o'clock in the morning, would you need to check a school out? Probably not, because there probably wouldn't be anybody in the school at 2 in the morning in the middle of summer. During the daytime, on a Thursday, whatever. February 4th, yeah, I guarantee you the schools are going to be full of kids and people. Okay. Home hazards, okay? Think about our homes. We have lots of gas lines, falling things in your own house or in your place of business. Risk of injury or electric shock, fires. Prepare for disaster. How many people in here have a weather radio? If you do not have one, please get one. They're like $35 at Walmart. If you need help getting one, I will be more than happy to help you because they are that important. Make sure you know an evacuation route. Make sure you know 2 evacuation routes, not only from your home, but out of your neighborhood or out of wherever you are. Because if the tornado has blown something from your neighbor's house across the street here, how are you going to get out if that's the only way you know? Now, some places it's a dead end, I get it. You can't get out a different way, but you're going to have to try and figure out a different way to get out of your neighborhood. Specific needs for yourself or people you know. If you are on oxygen, or if somebody in your home or your neighbor is on oxygen, you need to figure out a way to help them. I know there are like things you can carry that supply oxygen that don't need electricity. If you are in a wheelchair, well, if that person's not in the wheelchair and their wheelchair is gone, how can you help them get out of the building? In Dawson Springs, there was a woman, we were looking for 2 women, 2 sisters, and the one sister could not walk. She was in a wheelchair, and when they were found, the sister who was in the bed was in her bed, and the other sister was right there with her. She wouldn't leave her. So it was very sad, but that's loyalty, when you give up your own life for your sister. But what can you do to help in that situation? I mean, that particular one, there wasn't much anybody could do at the time. So think about that. Have the skills to evaluate the situation quickly. You're not going to have 10 minutes to stand there and go, well, that could do this, it could do this. You're going to have to look at it and make an instant decision. Is it always going to be the right decision? No. But as long as you've done your best, that's all anybody can ask. Family disaster plan. Make sure you practice that, especially if you have children or grandchildren around. Even if your grandchildren aren't over very often, you still need to practice with them. So when they're not at their home, they're at your home, they know what to do. They know where to go. That tree that they're meeting under at your daughter or your son's house, you need to find a tree at your house for them to meet under also. Get involved. Training and volunteer programs, like I said, super duper important. Family disaster plan. Out-of-state check-in, okay? Find somebody, and I don't have the books. I wish I did have enough books because I'd give everybody one. FEMA ran out because I ordered a whole lot of them. Make sure you give your information to a family member who does not, or someone you trust, I'll say, who does not live in your house or even in your town. And when I say information, I'm talking like bank account numbers, life insurance numbers, any of those important things. I send them to my sister. I put them in a folder and I close it up, and I trust her. But if something would happen to my husband and I, guess what? She's not gonna have a clue. Nobody's gonna know anything about the life insurance I have, or our house information, or our vehicle information. They're not gonna know anything. So just find somebody you trust, put it in an envelope, seal it, close it up, and trust them not to open it and hand it out or write it on the bathroom wall. How are you going to escape your home, your workplace, your school, your place of worship? We talked about evacuating the neighborhood. We talked about transportation, and make sure you practice it. The first bullet is perfect. After disaster, you don't have time to go looking for everything. Have it in a pack, which I'm going to give you, but you might want to add stuff to it, and then have your own disaster pack of things for your own personal home. So it's easy to grab and go. We call them grab and go bags. Yep. And then this looks like it's on, if you look in the PM, I think that's the student manual. 113 is chapter 1, page 13, I think is where that information should be. If you look in that, sorry, I should have told you that earlier. I believe that's where that is. Can somebody check real quick? Is it there? Perfect.
It's 113.
Excellent. This should be on 117. Escape planning. Make sure you consider the needs of your children and individual access and functional needs. Make sure somebody else knows your plan. Family member, coworker, whatever. And then again, practice them. Oh. Got a little excited here. Okay, we're not doing those. Oh, goodness. Okay, protective actions. And this is at your own home. We're starting with our own home. Assess the situation. Can we stay or do we need to leave? Can my husband and my kids stay or do they need to go elsewhere? My kids are my dogs. I don't have any children. Just FYI. Look for clean air. Okay, maybe in your home, a piece of it has fallen and so it's very dusty. That's not clean air. Find somewhere where there's clean air, whether it be outside or a neighbor's home or something like that. Make sure you find some way to signal people if you're trapped. Banging on a pipe, yelling. I always encourage kids when I do things with my dogs to have a whistle handy. If they go hiking, wear a whistle. Obviously you're not gonna have a whistle around your neck all day, but maybe put one in some key locations in your house because that is not a natural sound, a whistle. Go home and blow a whistle, and that's not a sound you're ever gonna hear besides in a whistle. Remove contaminants. That's gonna be, if your house is having issues, get your bleach out from, your bathroom. Put it outside or something away from in the house, just in case something more would happen. And practice good hygiene. Wash your hands, lots of hand washing. All right, sealing a room. When you shelter, we're gonna seal a room. This should be on chapter 1, page 19. Your internal room. How many people have a basement in here? That's good, because moving from northern Indiana, everybody has basements. When I came down here, there aren't very many basements here at all. I mean, we look for a house with a basement, there just aren't a lot of houses with basements. I don't know if it's because maybe it's lower because of the river, I just don't know, but there aren't.
They used to have them. The houses used to have them.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, up north, everybody has one. And I'm hoping now, well, I'm not hoping, but I mean, because the tornado path seems to have changed a little bit, maybe now when they start building houses, they'll build more basements. Think about where you would go in an emergency. Some people don't really think about that because they think their house is the best. It might be, it might not be.
Even our dogs seem to know to go downstairs in the basement.
Yeah, that's good.
They instinctively know.
That's good. Shelter for an extended stay. Be prepared to stay for a while in your sheltered area. That's why I said make sure you have some food that you don't have to heat up. Beans and franks in a can. Something. MREs, if you're lucky enough to have something like that. I don't know, I never had one, but.
Be careful eating them things. You have to eat them for a while, you're gonna pay for it.
Yeah, rumor has it they taste okay.
Sodium high.
Yeah, sure.
If you've got blood pressure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Make sure you take water. Have water in your spot. We have a dog crate. My husband laughs at me, but we have a dog crate. It's filled with easy food. Just pop the can, eat it. and water. He's like, you think I'm gonna eat that? And I'm like, well, you will if it's an emergency. If that's all there is, you will.
Soups are good.
And make sure you change that out every once in a while too, because it will go bad. That's your emergency supplies. 3-day disaster kits. I try and encourage people. The way we do it at our house, we have a 5-gallon bucket. And we put some stuff in the 5-gallon bucket, and we make sure it has a lid on it, because there's your seat. We have dog food in there. We have lots of water, and we have kitty litter. And then we each have an extra pair of socks. We each have an extra pair of underclothes. We each have an extra shirt and an extra pair of pants, extra shoes, and that fills it up. But then we have our dog cage that's got all the food in it and more water. Because water is what they say you need 1 gallon of water per person a day. So how many people are in your house? That's how much water you need, that many gallons per day.
That's not counting your animals either.
No, that's not counting your animals at all. Okay? All right, structural mitigation measures. Now, a lot of this stuff you don't have too much control over because it would have been done when your house was built. But, some people have built safe rooms. We have a list in our office of the people who have safe rooms. Numerous people have them in their garages. And that's just so if something should happen, they'll be able to hear us, but we may not be able to hear them, and they might not, they might not hear us very well. So we just have a list of who all has one, so we make sure we check that house, that safe room.
Got a lot of them in Bremen now.
I'm sorry?
Those storm shelters. Bremen, they're putting them in all over.
Yeah, and a lot of them dig them underground too. Now those are much more expensive. Which is why some people will just put them in their garages and they bolt right to the floor in numerous places. But whatever you have that would work for you is the way to go. And if you can afford one underground, that's the best. But I do know they're expensive. Things you can do in your house is your heavy furniture, make sure it's anchored down. Lots of us probably have hanging TVs. Make sure that's good and sturdy to your wall. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be sitting here and have the TV fall on me thinking I was safe from the roof or the ceiling, the TV. Just like when you have little kids over, you want to think about your dressers so they don't pull them over when they climb on them. Kids will be kids. Make sure you know where your gas, electric, and water shutoffs are in your own house. How many people know where their water shutoff is? That's awesome. I'm glad to see that. How many people know where their gas and electric shutoffs are? That's fantastic. So thank you for doing that. Water heaters, we don't do a lot with those as far as putting them in. I mean, I think you have to be an electrician to put them in or a water person. So make sure they're attached somehow so they're not gonna go flying. Non-structural hazards, home fires, burglar bars. I'm assuming those are just the bars that go up and down to keep people from breaking into your house. Landslides. I'm sorry?
Wouldn't that also keep you from getting out and EMS from getting in?
Yes, very much so. That is a problem, but in some areas I can see where that would be desired. Landslides, wildfires. We don't have a lot of landslides or wildfires here. This is what we will do. We will treat life-threatening injuries until professional assistance becomes available. So if we have a cut in a major artery, we can hold pressure on that. We can tie a tourniquet on it. We can do those things until somebody more experienced than us gets there. We can extinguish small fires. We can turn off utilities if it's safe. Emotional stressors, sometimes just be there. You don't even have to say anything. They'll talk, and once they start talking, just let them talk.
Seeing that somebody's taking charge of something tends to calm people down,
Yeah.
or at least somebody.
I mean, you hope that they do. You hope that they do.
True.
In all honesty, I'm going to use Dawson Springs again, and I only use this because I had never experienced that until I went down there. Initially, we were sent down to knock on doors and see if anybody needed anything. While we were looking for people at the time when we went, ambulances were still coming out, so it was like, would it take us an hour and 15 minutes to get there? It was a hot mess.
Were you in Bowling Green at all?
No, we were at Dawson
I
Springs.
was in Bowling Green and Brigham, and I knew people out in Dawson Springs.
Yeah.
Area.
Yep,
That's
yep.
all of them.
It's very, even for you, I didn't think it would bother me near as much as it did when I got back. It was very, very sad and it was very hard. So make sure if you ever participate in something like that, maybe you need to talk, and that's okay. There's always someone to talk to or to talk at, and hopefully they'll just let you talk. Light search and rescue operations, we will definitely go over that. Okay. Here's how the organization works. Well, this is more for like me than for you. You will have a team leader, but it won't be, you'll see. We're gonna watch a video that is perfect for what CERT does. Okay, PPE, you will get all of these things in your, well, you're not gonna get sturdy shoes or work boots, but you will get mask, goggles, helmet, and gloves in your CERT bag, which looks like that. Yeah, it's a green backpack, or I have, like I said, I have bags. Vicki ordered bags also.
Communities are susceptible to many types of disasters. Some, such as floods, earthquakes, tornadoes, and hurricanes, are natural, while others, such as nuclear power plant disasters and hazardous materials emergencies, are man-made. Some parts of the country will experience disasters that others will never see, like mudslides, winter storms, and volcanoes, while others, like flooding or windstorms, can strike most anywhere. When disaster strikes, emergency services personnel will respond immediately. We count on their training and equipment to handle these situations. However, depending on the impact, emergency responders may not be able to quickly get to everyone who needs help. That's where community emergency response teams come in. CERTs are trained to search for and rescue people who might be trapped, to provide basic medical assistance, to put out small fires, and to handle other small incidents before more injuries or damage occur. By using the skills and knowledge they learned in training, CERT members in a neighborhood, workplace, school, or other location can work as a team to help themselves and others until professional help arrives. That's what CERT is all about, making a difference when it is needed the most. We call it doing the greatest good for the greatest number.
Okay. Wow. That was a storm, huh?
Yeah, scary too.
Yeah, it sure was. Honey, would you check the lights?
Yeah. Nothing.
Yeah. How's everybody doing?
I'm scared.
I know, honey. It's gonna be all right.
You okay?
I'm okay.
I think the winds have died down. I'm gonna check the house out, make sure everything's okay, then I gotta get my CERT stuff and go meet the team. So you guys know where your go kits are? Mm-hmm. All right. We're gonna get those, we're gonna meet out front, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Hi, Daddy.
Hey, sweetie. A lot of shingles are down, a lot of big tree limbs, but other than that, I think we were lucky. House looks okay, it looks safe. Obviously the power's out, and I checked the phones, the dial tone's out too, so wires are down somewhere. Got your cell?
Yep, got it.
And?
Got 3 bars.
Good.
I'll call my sister.
Why are you calling me Kathy?
Because she's our out-of-state contact. So anytime anything happens here, we call her to let her know we're okay. And anytime anything happens there, she calls us.
Okay, makes sense.
Well, the house is safe, so we can go back in, okay? I'm gonna get my CERT gear and meet the rest of the team. Hey, listen, I don't know where those wires are down, so I want you guys to stay inside. I don't want anyone to get hurt, okay?
Okay, Daddy.
Yes. Hey, Joe.
Oh, hey, Bart, how are you?
All right.
Good.
How's everybody at your place?
We're all right. Shaking up a little bit. It's a mess.
Yeah.
But we're okay. We were lucky. Good. You okay?
Yeah, we're all right. But I noticed coming over, Peterson's at 1422 and the Parchman's at 1424. Their places got hit by a fallen tree.
Ah, boy.
Peterson's roof was damaged, and the Parchman's deck is just totally crushed.
Wow. Everybody okay? Everybody out of there?
Yeah. Rita's pretty shook up, but she's not hurt.
I bet we'll find more. Let's go over to the meeting
let's
place,
get
huh?
going. Hope it's still there.
Yeah, sure do. Check down the other side. Get rid of this branch. Okay. Blow off and hit somebody. Ah, come on. I don't think this area got hit like we did.
No, it doesn't look like it. I think it looks pretty good. All the posts seem sound. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Good command post.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, Bob.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Barb.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Our family's fine. House was okay.
Yeah, ours too. How about you?
Well, we lost some shingles.
Yeah.
The trash cans are probably history. You know, walking over here, you know the gas station on Wallace? The roof that's over the gas pumps? Rolling down on the road. All mangled and twisted up. Pretty bad.
So how about the people there? Everybody okay?
No, nobody's hurt. The manager put traffic cones out around the roof that's on Wallace Road so people can see it.
Okay, good. That's good. Hey, Mary Lou.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
I'm surprised this place is even still standing.
Yeah,
huh?
sorry.
Listen, sorry I'm late. I passed a minor car crash down the street.
Anybody hurt there?
Drivers and passengers are fine, no pedestrians involved. So, who's in charge here? Who got here first?
Joe and I got here first. Joe, you've had lots more CERT experience than I have. I just finished training. Why don't you take the lead?
I can do that.
Man, those winds were pretty rough, weren't they?
You better believe it.
Wow. Hey, Wayne.
Hey, guys.
How are you, Wayne?
How you guys doing?
I'm just donning the leadership stripe here.
Excellent.
So my suggestion is we keep this as the command post. It's structurally sound. There's a roof in case the rains come back, and it's centrally located in the neighborhood. That all right with everybody?
Yeah, works for me.
Sounds good.
All right, we're just getting to talking about what everybody's seen. So Mary Lou saw a car crash.
Right, a car and a pickup truck actually at 4th and Berkeley. Just bumps and bruises, really. Everybody's okay, and they're not blocking traffic. When I left, they were exchanging information, seemed pretty calm.
Okay, good. And what else? Bob, you saw the twisted roof of the gas station.
Yeah, that was at Wallace and 13th. It seems to be all under control, and traffic can't get around the roof.
Okay. Anything else?
Not for me.
Okay.
We've had that leaking propane grill that we saw,
Right.
and there were some down power lines.
Right.
And we ought to really go back and check the Parchman's gas lines.
It's a really good
Here's
idea.
the detail.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, everybody.
Hey,
Hey,
Vivian.
Viv.
Hey, did you see the damage down at the community center?
No.
A tree fell on it. It looks like some limbs went through the roof and a big window. There are people there day and evening, so I wouldn't be surprised if there are injuries.
I think the priority has to be the community center. Vivian, you take Bob and Mary Lou down there. You'll be in charge. All right, I think you're right about the gas lines at 1424 Windsor, too. Barb, you and Wayne head over there on your way to the community center, all right? Wayne, you take the lead there.
All right.
Viv, can you have information back in 20 minutes?
Absolutely.
All right, terrific. Don't forget, write down everything you do and everything you see, so we can get a good status report to the professionals when they get here. All right, thanks, everybody.
Wow, what a mess. All right, let's take a look at the exterior first. Mary Lou, Bob, I want you to go to the right. Wayne, Barbara, I want you to go to the left.
Okay.
I'll stay here. Let me know what you see. and stick with your buddies and meet back here in 5 minutes. Everything clear?
Okay.
Okay, excellent.
Electrical box there.
All clear.
Look at that tree. It's on the roof and windows.
Wait, listen. Do you hear it? There's people. I can hear people. There's people.
Yeah, I agree. I hear some voices there.
All right, listen, we need to go tell them.
Uh-oh, there's some smoke in here.
Locked. Let's get back on board.
Hey, all right. What did y'all see?
It is a mess back there. We saw that big tree. It's up against the building, and there's a big broken window. We could hear people inside. They're calling for help, but I couldn't tell you how many.
Okay, all right, thanks. And what about y'all?
Debris also, but through a window back there, we saw a lot of smoke.
Okay, it sounds like we're gonna need to go in. I want you to stay in your pairs, and I want you to use all caution. Use a right-hand search pattern. I want you all to use a left-hand search pattern. I'll stay up here and set up a triage area and just track what everybody's doing. Everybody okay with that plan? Okay, all right, good luck.
I'll let them know we're here.
Community Emergency Response Team, if you can hear me, come to the sound of my voice.
Hi, I'm Walter, and this is Becky. We saw you over here. Can we help?
Yeah, my name is Vivian, and I'm from this neighborhood's Community Emergency Response Team. We've been trained by the fire department to help out when, the professionals haven't arrived yet. Do either one of you have any medical experience?
Sure, I worked as an EMT in college.
Okay, what about you?
Putting Band-Aids on my 3-year-old grandson, but that's about it, sorry.
Okay, we can use all the help we can get. Do you live nearby?
Right over here.
Okay, do you have any blankets you could spare?
Sure do.
All right, why don't you run home and grab them, and then just come on back here and you can help with the minor injuries.
Okay.
All right, thanks. Okay, Becky, so we're gonna go ahead and set up a triage area. We're gonna put the minor injuries here. The more serious ones we're gonna put here. The ones that need immediate attention we're gonna put right here so that the EMS has immediate access to them. Do you have any questions?
No questions, I got it.
Okay, thanks.
Smoke right over here.
Bernadette, I tried to put the fire out on the
We
stove.
got a fire.
Extinguisher
See if you can grab the extinguisher.
Storm hit.
Sir, can you walk with me?
Yeah.
Are you in charge?
Yes, hi, how are you?
I'm in a lot of pain. I think I hurt my arm and shoulder.
Okay.
Can you help me?
Yes, I can. My name is Vivian. I'm part of the Community Emergency Response Team, and what I'd like to do is I'd like to put this piece of tape on you. Just identifies your injuries and the severity of them.
Sure.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, Becky, why don't you come on over here and help me? She's hurt her arm. Why don't you take her over to the delayed section and check her out?
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I'm so scared.
I know you are. The storm is over.
Oh, what happened?
The windstorm is over.
Oh. I've been trying to call the fire department.
I know you have. But I'm your neighbor here. We're here to help you.
How are you doing?
Let me test it here.
Good thinking.
Okay, going in.
Going in.
Hey, I think the fire's out. Back it up.
Backing out. Let's give it a sec to make sure it's all the way out.
Look at all those people.
Let's go again.
Okay, let's get this guy here on the floor here first. You know, talk to him at all? Just the airway. I'm getting some breath sounds here now. Check the perfusion here. All right. Little slow perfusion. Sir, can you squeeze my hand? Sir, can't follow simple commands. He's an immediate.
Another guy over here, you know.
All right, I hear
Right there.
We'll be there in a moment. Do you know what happened?
This tree came from nowhere.
Let's raise this.
All right.
In all of a sudden.
Sir, what's your name?
I'm Earth. It's bleeding. It hurts.
We're gonna make a delay, all right? All right, we'll be back to you, sir.
I'm Dora. It's pretty bad. Okay, well, how are you? Yeah, I'm just scratched and bruised and shook up. Okay, take care of him. Yeah.
We're gonna try right now.
Okay.
Look at him. It's all right? You got any injuries? Your head? Oh, your head looks pretty bad. And that looks like it's trapped in there. Since severe bleeding on the lower leg, we're gonna make him an immediate. You doing all right here?
Hey guys, how can we help?
Just in time. Listen, we have 2 people here that we need to move out immediately. This man, we're gonna need a blanket or a stretcher. If you could go out and try to find something, and then we'll take this boy out on that chair. And while you're out there, please report to Vivian how many injured we have. This man is delayed, and then this woman just has minor injuries. In fact, if you could take these 2 folks out with you, that would be helpful. Sure.
You got it.
All right, I'm just gonna put this right here on your shoulder, and I want to give you some water. So, thirsty?
Okay.
Oh, so glad to be out. Hi, what do you have here?
A miter.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and set her up either against the wall or on the ground? What do we have here?
Urban here has a left arm injury. He's delayed.
Okay, I want you to set him up right over here. Are you on the ground or against the wall?
We've got 2 more immediates inside. I've got a blanket.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and take Wayne back in there and go ahead and collect them. All right. Thank you.
All right, they're back with the blanket. Wayne, why don't you take control of the head and take command, please?
Folks, let's get the blanket down. Bob, if you would get his arms. All right. Pretty good with the blanket. 1, 2, 3.
No further injuries on the back.
Okay, on my count. 1, 2, 3. Nice. All right, I'm gonna come around. Right, you're on his body. Everybody got a good grip? Okay, everybody ready to lift? Ready. 1, 2, 3.
Let's go out.
Let's take him out feet first.
Put him right down here.
All right, right over here.
Yep.
On my
Exactly.
count, down on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Great. All right, anything left inside?
Yeah, we've got one more inside. Bob will report. Barbara and I are gonna go in.
We came across him. He was unresponsive. We adjusted his airway. He started breathing a lot better. He has an obvious serious head wound, but he's going into shock, we believe. His perfusion was kind of weak. We're going to put him in the top position.
Okay, excellent. All right, I'll go ahead and do an assessment myself. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and check you, just to see if you have any further injuries. I'm just checking to see if you're bleeding anywhere else.
Nice job.
You doing
Good job,
all right?
buddy.
Yeah. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Let's get those hands in your lap.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna tilt you back.
Okay.
Barbara, you ready for a lean? All right, tilt him back. 1, 2, 3. Go lift on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, thank you.
And right here. And 1, 2, 3, down. So 1, 2, 3, forward. Nice. Okay. Will, we're gonna put you on this blanket right over here on your left.
Okay.
You ready for that?
Yeah.
All right, Barbara and I are gonna grab you.
do it.
We're gonna get a good grip on you. We'll tell you when we're ready to go. Okay. On 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Nice job, you guys. What do we have here, Wayne?
Will here, we need to get him out here immediately, and he's got a head injury. You can see a little bit of glass in his head right there, and he's got a left leg injury.
Okay, thanks.
The building's clear, and we're gonna go ahead and start helping these guys work on these guys right here.
Will, I'm just going to check you out here.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to put my hands on your head.
Okay.
And I'm just checking for other injuries. We need to deliver some reports to the command post. What do you have for me?
Okay, we went through the entire community center. Bob and I found one room with heavy damage to the ceiling. Didn't even look safe to go in there. And there's one room that's locked. We tried it, we called, we didn't get any answer, but we were not able to go inside.
Okay, Wayne, what do you have for me?
Barbara and I went to 1424 Windsor. Bad storm damage. We shut the gas off. Here's my documentation.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and give it to Mary Lou. Here's the report for the 8 triage victims, and this is a current report.
Okay.
Why don't you go ahead and head up there, and then just come on back when you finished your report.
Alrighty, I will. Is there anything we need?
Nope, that's it.
I'll see you guys as soon as I can.
Wayne, why don't you go ahead and mark the building as searched, and we'll go ahead and continue to attend to the victims.
We'll do.
All right.
I'll mark it right here.
Thanks.
Thanks, Rachel. Thanks for checking in. Okay, I got it. Hi, Mary Lou.
Hi, how you doing?
Well, how's it going there?
We have one room with heavy damage in the ceiling. We can't even enter there.
Right.
And we do have one room that's locked to get inside.
Okay.
And 8 victims in our triage area, 2 immediates, and then 3 delayed and 3 minor.
All right, all right.
Okay, Barb and Wayne turned off the gas at one house.
That's good.
I've got the addresses for the 2 places they checked and some information from Daviess. Okay, and here's my stuff, but I'm gonna head back down to the community center.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Mary Lou. I'm gonna call in those 2 immediates right now.
I'll send that down there.
Oh, hey, Aaron.
Joe.
Denise, nice to meet you.
I'm Joe. I'm the CERT leader here. I'm going to give you the report, okay? We've got incidental damage around the community, but we've been really focused on the community center. We've searched it all except for 2 rooms that are inaccessible to us. One has ceiling damage, and the other one's locked. We can't get in. We got 8 victims in triage. 2 immediates I've already called in, but we've also got 3 delayed and 3 minors. I'll take you over there now. I got these forms for you.
Are there any patients in the 2 inaccessible rooms?
We don't know.
Okay.
Glad you guys are here.
Community emergency response team members are trained to help themselves and others after a disaster. Until professional help arrives, CERTs work together, providing basic medical assistance, putting out small fires, searching for and rescuing people who are trapped, acting as the eyes and ears for professional responders. By doing the greatest good for the greatest number, they make a difference when it is needed the most.
I know that was kind of cheesy, not professional actors, but that's what you do. That's what you will be able to do. What's the first thing that happened there after the disaster, obviously?
You check on your own family.
Here you go. You take care of your own first. Always take care of your own first. Nothing is fast. Once the disaster happens, everything just seems to slow down. Fast is not always thorough. It's about being thorough. Joe was the team leader. You might be asked to be the team leader. You might not. So you need to feel, if you're not confident that you could do what Joe did, then just say, you know what, I'm not comfortable doing that. You know, and maybe somebody else will step up. If not, you know, you might be the first one. If you're doing something, it's better than doing nothing, like I said before. So even if you're not the best at it, something's better than nothing. As you're joining your teams, you're gonna, like they did, look and see what you see on the way and report it when you get there. Your team lead will write it all down, and then they relay that to the first responders. Joe, your team leader here, he wrote everything down, and he made sure he told who to go where and how long they had to do that. That's just communication. Lots of communication. I like that because they were constantly talking to each other, which is super important. I like that he asked, or the woman asked if he had any medical experience, and he said, I could put Band-Aids on my 3-year-old. So she found him something else to do. There's always something for someone to do. If you notice, they were never alone. You never go anywhere alone. You're always in a team of 2. And I had to chuckle. Don't tell somebody, oh yeah, your head looks pretty bad. Don't do that. I had to chuckle when I heard that, so, but yeah, you don't want to tell somebody that. We use red, green. We use red, yellow, green. They use immediate, delayed, and she said minor, which are your walking wounded. If you notice, when they went into the building, they said, if you can hear me, come to my voice. Come to my voice. Those are your walking wounded. Those are people who are wounded, but they can come to you. You always hope that you get lots of those. We also have black. Okay? We all know what black is. You will learn carries, and when we do carries, I hope people volunteer. Sometimes that's difficult to get people to volunteer, but I really would like, you know, to try all of these carries. There's 3 or 4 different ones you're gonna learn. Oh no, we're gonna have people volunteer. Okay. Dummies are easy to use. We wanna use real people. You're going to mark the buildings, like they had chalk in your backpack or your bag. You'll have chalk also. When we were in Dawson Springs, they gave us a can of spray paint. Guess what? I'm not using spray paint. because I don't want somebody to come back and say, this part of my house didn't have anything wrong with it till you spray painted it. So use chalk. Use chalk. You'll get chalk. Find somewhere that they can see chalk, and you'll learn how to do that. Biggest thing is, if it's not safe, don't go. Don't go. The hardest thing you'll have to do, which I hope you never have to, I've never had to, is hear somebody or see somebody that's through a window, it's really bad, or you know they're going to be a blackberry soon, and just walk by. Just leave them. Because remember, you're doing the greatest good for the greatest number. Even the fire department does that. Okay? Now, I hope none of you ever have to do it, and I pray I never have to do it, because it would tear me apart. But do the most good for the most number of people. Okay, let's see where we are here. So I do like that video. Like I said, a little cheesy, but there we go. Okay, non-disaster roles. This is what I was talking about, like when we help at ROMP. When we did ROMP this year, our shift, I had 3 CERT, well, my goal was to have 3 CERT people and 3 search and rescue people. Most of the time I had 1 to 2 CERT people and 1 to 2 search and rescue people. We gave a lot of Band-Aids out. This is prior to like the hospital having their set up and the ambulance being there, because we were in the mornings and then the hospital people came in about 10 or 11, but they took like major things on, like heat exhaustion. They did that stuff. We handled the Band-Aids. We handled giving out ice packs, things like that. We had a little boy come in. He got a rash. Were you there when he did that rash? Okay, yeah. I can't remember who was there with me, but we just watched this rash go down his body. And I just was putting hydrocortisone cream all over him, all over his body, because we just watched it. And it didn't, that was Thursday. It didn't happen Friday, but Saturday, by golly, it's just something, it had to be something out at Yellow Creek that didn't agree with him, because it didn't happen Friday. But anyway, so that's what your job is. That's what my job was. Anything worse than that, they went over to the hospital area, because there's nurses and the really professional first aid people were over there. Let's see. Assist with installation of smoke alarms. A lot of times Red Cross will have a smoke alarm installation day, and they will ask, Ricky or Linda will ask me if I could put it out for CERT volunteers to come help. All we do is walk around and we hang up smoke alarms in people's homes, which is a big help. First aid booth, distribute preparedness materials. We don't do that a whole lot because usually emergency management handles that, but you never know when I might put it out on an email that we need people. Parade route management, we've done that. For the Christmas parade, we just set up a table. Usually it's underneath the bridge with Band-Aids, you know, just things like that, real basic things. Let's see. Good Samaritan laws, Volunteer Protection Act of 97, relevant state statutes. So as long as you do something within your scope of training, you are fine. If you are not, well, you are not a nurse, so if you try to stitch somebody up, obviously that's going to be an issue. Don't go beyond what you're trained to do. And in this particular class, you know, if you have first aid and CPR, you're going to do a lot more in those classes than we're going to do here. But if you're not trained to do it by a professional, which is not me, then don't do it. Don't do it. Hopefully somebody else is around. But like I said, you can put pressure on an artery, you can hold a head, you can do those things. And you're gonna be fine. Don't say, oh, I don't wanna get in trouble. You're not gonna get in trouble, just don't go beyond what you've been trained to do. All right, these are kind of things that hopefully I would like to, get some more things going for CERT. We will do animals in disasters. You can get your first aid CPR, which if you don't have that, I would encourage you to do it anyway. Debris removal, that would be questionable. You know what I mean? It just depends on, obviously if a tornado comes through or whatever, you're gonna help your neighbors clear their yard, but if you don't feel comfortable doing it, don't do it. There's a lot you can do. Shelter management and donations management, that's something if you're interested in assisting with that. We always need churches to step up and help. That's through VOAD, which is Volunteer Organizations Active in Disasters. Like Catholic Charities is very involved in that. We have some facilities, like Jaeger Materials is very involved in that. So Red Cross and of course Salvation Army, places like that. But we're always looking for more organizations to get involved in VOAD. And if you're interested or you think your group might be interested, please send me an email because we can always use more people there. Okay. Online courses, Kentucky Emergency Management, KYEM. If you put in KYEM training, there's hundreds of different things. And they're all online courses. Take them at your own leisure and get a certificate. But you can really learn a lot from them. They're free. Okay. We're not doing homework. Okay. We're going to talk about what CERT is. Okay. Go back. Okay. The principles of on-scene management, which when you get to the place, that's obviously considered on-scene. Maintain the safety of everyone. Sometimes people get excited and they're like, I hear somebody over here, I think I need to go over here and help. It might be your job to say, no. We're not gonna do that. I know everybody, the adrenaline gets going and you wanna do everything and you can't. Improve the effectiveness of rescue efforts. 2 people going in to help somebody is always gonna be better than 1. Accountability is important. Don't become part of the problem. If you do something by yourself, you could fall and get hurt. Now you're part of the problem instead of part of the solution. So don't become part of the problem. Always go in teams. Management structure, if you watched on the video, you had the person in charge, then you had the lady in charge at the scene itself, and then she was giving everybody orders where to go, what to do, when to be back. Span of control. Span of control, she had 2 people on a team. She had a very small team. She only had 4 people with her, 2 on each team. So she's in charge of 4 people. Common terminology, we learned that a lot in we don't use 10 codes or anything like that in search and rescue. The only time we ever use any, I'll say, non-common terminology is if we find somebody, we're not going to say, hey, we found the dead person. Because the fact of the matter is you never know who's listening on those CBs and on those radios and all that stuff. So, but for this instance, just very common. What do you see? What's going on? Effective communication, that was superb in this. And you'll learn how to count, to work together. You'll work together going in, coming out. Resource management, you guys don't have a whole lot to do with that, neither do I. That's like the people who make money. Scope of the incident. So if this church, something happened in this church fell right now, that's a big area, very big area. Are other things going on in this church right now?
Yes.
I would venture to say yes. Do we know where? No. This is a big church. Determine your overall strategy. That's going to be your team leader. So if it happened here, does anybody go to church here? Okay. So chances are you would know at least where people might be right now. Or at least you would know where rooms are, where people might be. Whereas me, I would just be roaming around because I've never been here in the whole church before. Document. Paper trails. Most of you, I'm sure you guys have paper trails. As teachers, we have paper trails, lots of paper trails. I would guess anybody who works with people have paper trails. That's just for your own coverage. Incident command, not really CERT, I don't think. So we're going to skip that. Your team lead we talked about, his command post was that building outside and then expanded as needed. And as you have the people. If you don't have the people, obviously you can only do so much with a few number of people. Media, I'm tell you right now, don't talk to them. Send them to somebody who gets paid to talk to them. Okay? The city has a person, the county has a person. Like in my office, with emergency management, I don't want to talk to them. You guys at Carmel Home, I'm sure you have somebody who talks to the media. And I don't know if it's any of you or not, but I prefer not to. Even though Channel 25 came in, I'd never been on TV like that before, and I'll tell you, I did notice I talk a lot with my hands. So,
people say Tennessee Muslims, somebody gets paid for it.
Yeah. And anybody work in media here? Okay, good. If you don't give them something, they're going to make it up.
Exactly.
So send them to somebody who knows, which chances are is not you, and it's not me. So you want to be careful about what they hear. We did a search for a gentleman from Elizabethtown. We found him in Union County, but we had set up down in the Bottoms, and sure enough, a TV station pulled up, and they put this big, like a satellite, I guess, thing it looked like. But what it was like a speaker that would pull in our voices. So we had the police ask them to move back, but we still almost whispered because that would have picked up what we said. Okay? I appreciate the media, but so be careful. Don't talk to them. I mean, you don't want to be involved in that. So, don't let the media get in your way. Just ask them to move, please. Okay, go find somewhere else to look. You don't want to be rude, but by the same token, you want to get your job done and not be inhibited by them. Okay, we're not going to do that. Okay? And that's kind of the order. Search, take care of yourself, your family, your home, and then their neighbors. It would be nice if all the groups had a pre-designated area. It doesn't always happen. I would imagine at your place, you guys have a spot where you're supposed to meet. I would imagine anybody who has a job in here, you have a place where everybody in your facility has to meet in the case of an emergency, and you're at work. Team leader is established and organizes the group. They prioritize the actions, which is what he was doing. You have this long. Organization is flexible and evolves based on new information. So as new information comes in, you might have to change what you thought you were going to do. If something different happens, just change. Okay. When you get on scene, you're going to size it all up. The first thing you're going to do is show up, and this looks like it's on Chapter 2, page 9. First thing you're going to do is gather the facts, which is what she did when she sent 2 groups to the left, 2 groups to the right, and then come back. She's gathering the facts. Then they assessed and they communicated to her the damages, what they saw. Consider probabilities. If you go in this room, is the ceiling likely to fall? If it is, with a little anything, little, another little wind blown, don't go in there. Just don't go. Assess your own situation, make decisions, develop a plan of action, take action, and evaluate the progress. And then you might just have to start over. And you will see this size up every chapter. Every chapter. Okay, rescuer safety. Your safety is #1 priority. Number 1. Like I said, don't become part of the problem. Heavy damage, you're not going to rescue them. You're just going to have to, you can tell them the fire department will be here soon, or somebody will be in to help you soon, but don't do it. Moderate damage, locate them, assess them, and evacuate them. And then light damage, same thing, but as you're going to get them, you're also looking around to see what else, if there might be potentially somebody else. When she said there were 2 more rooms, one was locked, the other one had the ceiling, so she's assessing as she goes to give that information when she got back out. Command post, document, document, document. Section chief, I believe, is probably what the woman was who went to the community center and then had her 2 people go on either side. Document. Make sure you have people sign in. Just grab a piece of paper. Okay? You want to make sure if the 5 of us go in somewhere together and only 4 of us come out, something's wrong. We're missing somebody. Okay? We shouldn't have left somebody behind in the first place, but it happens. In emergencies, you got to keep a cool head. It happens. Lots of paper right there. Just keep track of everything. Okay, there's Joe. He looks a little different, but I believe that's Joe. There's your volunteers. Your staging was the covered area outside. Your functional teams were the 2 on each side. Victim treatment area was her triage, which she set up, which we will learn. Your equipment will be in your bag, and your communications. Look at all those paper, lots of paperwork. Keep track of everything. Okay. Yeah, we're not doing homework. Nobody wants. So, let me see. Here real quick. I talk fast, so. Does anybody have any questions right now? In the back of these 2 chapters, it gives you some paperwork that you can use. In all honesty, nobody's going to think about carrying this with them. That's when this comes in handy. Everybody gets this in your backpack, and I believe there's a pad of paper also. So again, if you have that backpack, you're going to have this. And I would throw some extra pens and pencils in there just to be sure. Duct tape. I'm trying to think if there's duct tape in your bags. There used to be, but I don't know if there's duct tape now or if it's masking tape. I know there's masking tape.
A good suggestion is keep all of them. They're not too expensive. We'll write and rain notepads.
Yes.
You can write on them with any pen.
Yeah.
They get pen in your pocket.
Yeah. Write in the rain. We use those a lot in search and rescue. Write in the rain. You can get whatever size you want. They're kind of expensive unless you get, I mean, they're going to be more than a pad of paper.
Oh, yeah.
But, if you get with a few other people and buy a pack of 6, it might cost you $3 each. So, sorry? Yeah, they've gone up. I used to buy them for the class and give everybody one, but that's when I only had 6 and 8 people. With 58 or how many are here, that might be kind of expensive for me, but yeah, if you get with some people,